Hello everybody, it's Scotty, here to build a fun 20-inch unicycle. We're gonna start from the very beginning and take it all the way to the end. First, we'll open up the box. Pull out all our parts. Got the seat and the seat post. Got the fork. The single wheel with crank arms installed. And one beautiful bag of parts. Let's get started. We're gonna start by unpackaging this unicycle. Go ahead, take the plastic off the seat. Looks like a beautiful, comfy seat there. Take off this cardboard protection. A little mirror finish chrome. Love seeing that, man. That's good. Gotta be stronger than the tape. First things first, we'll get this seat installed here. Looks like we got a nice quick release clamp. That'll make it easy to adjust the size for anybody, whoever wants to ride it. Remember, the handle on this seat is the front, and the quick release clamp is in the back. So we'll oppose the sides of the handle on the seat to the clamp. Looks like we gotta go ahead and tighten this clamp up pretty good here. What you want whenever you're clamping this down to get a good clamp is you want to meet resistance on that skewer where it hits level with the bolt before you fold it down to get a nice good clamp. So we'll go ahead and straighten that seat back out and then fold that quick release clamp in. All right, cool. Didn't quite get it straight. Let me try again here. There she is, pretty good. Start with that. Next, we'll flip this over. And remember that the handle of this seat is in the front. So that means our right side and our left side matters. You check out the crank arms on these, on this front wheel. You'll see an R stamped into one crank arm here. That's for right. And then on the opposing side, you'll see an L stamped on there. That's important to get that on the correct side so that the pedals stay nice and secure. Make sure that they fall into that gap. You gotta kind of flex that fork legs in so that these sealed cartridge bearings fall all the way seated into that position. Remember, make sure your right side and left side are correct. All right, we'll give that a quick spin. Make sure those sealed cartridge bearings are rolling nice and smooth, which they are. Cool thing about sealed cartridge bearings, they last a very long time. I'm just gonna kind of set that down so I can open up some of these hardware packaging. Ziploc bag. Get these parts out here. Now there are pictured instructions in here if you need that. So feel free to reference those as well at home. What we're gonna do is we're gonna grab these caps that are attached together here, and again, be stronger than the tape. Gotta find the leading edge. Frame clamps is what I'm calling those, or what they're called. All right, so we'll go ahead and unwrap these frame clamps. This will make sure that our wheel is nice and secure into the fork legs. Now both of these are the same, so it doesn't matter if you put them on left and the right. So don't be worried about that. We'll stand this unicycle back up. Again, just double checking that these bearings are seated all the way in. Go ahead and drop that in. We're going to use one washer provided and one 10mm nut that's provided. Apply a little pressure to the top of this bolt so it doesn't wiggle around on us. First slide the washer on, kind of pinch the washer and the head of the bolt together so they stay. Go ahead and just loosely fit this first 10 millimeter nut on there, and then we're going to do the opposing side bolt. Remember, it's keyed, so we'll line up our keyed slot there. Drop that in as well until it finds its key slot. Repeat the process. Push down on the top of the bolt. Use one washer and one 10 millimeter nut provided. Washer goes on first. Pinches between your fingers to hold that washer on. Loosely fit that 10 millimeter nut on. I'm going to repeat this process on the opposite side now. Using your mounting plate, drop it so it slides onto that sealed cartridge bearing nice and evenly. Orient our keyed bolt so that the keyed slot lines up with the keyed slot on our mounting plate. One washer and one nut that's provided. Slide that washer on, pinch and hold it in place while lightly threading on the 10 millimeter nut. All right, one more time, same song, fourth verse. Keyed bolt goes in, finding its keyed position, then the washer. Pinch and hold the washer. 10 millimeter nut goes on next. Once we have that loosely fitted, we can now start tightening up these nuts. What we're looking for and the end goal is the gap between the outside mounting plate and the bottom of the fork leg to be exactly the same on both sides. So we're going to tighten both of these nuts in equally all the way till they're nice and snug and holding on tight. The wrench is not provided, so you have to use your own 10 millimeter box wrench, socket set, or adjustable wrench to get these tightened. I've got a nice stamped tool here, so go ahead and time me and we'll see how long this takes. All right, we'll give that a quick spin and see if it changes how fast or slow this spinning motion is. If there's any resistance in this wheel, or if this wheel comes to a dead stop as soon as you spin it, or you can tell that it's moving really, really slow, you need to loosen these nuts up. So you're looking for no movement of the bottom plate here. You're looking for equal gap on either side. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll tighten up the other side. Oh, the difference the right tool makes. Again, just getting both of these lock nuts just snugged up. You're not trying to use any real muscle here. Since these mounting surfaces that the sealed cartridge bearing sets in is channeled, that bearing is being supported and held by all sides. So it's not just the top and bottom pinch. It's literally cupping it on every side. So you don't need to over tighten these. Just snug is good. Go ahead and spin that again. Make sure the wheel is spinning freely with those beautiful sealed cartridge bearings. We'll go ahead and throw the pedals on next. Remember earlier in the video, I showed you right and left and that was important? Well, here's why it is important. Because your pedals are threaded for specific right and left side. So just like those crank arms are stamped with an R and an L, so are the bottoms of these pedals. So R goes in the side that's got an R, L goes in the side that's got an L. If you want to ever take these pedals off in the future, you're going to want to place a little bit of grease on these threads before you thread these in and tighten them up. All right, the right-handed pedal is going to be correct threaded, which I mean, when I say that, I mean righty-tighty. We'll tighten the right pedal. So what you want to do whenever you're threading pedals in is you always want to thread them in as far as you can by hand first. It's really, really important that these thread in nice and easy. You don't want to get these in crooked. All right, so I've snugged that up. I've got my first wrench that I started with back again to finish tightening up these pedals here. This is going to be a 15mm wrench to tighten these pedals up. So go ahead and tighten those up, righty-tighty, nice and snug. We'll go ahead and do the opposite side. This is the left side. The left side is going to be reverse threaded. So that means you're going to thread it to the left to tighten it. There she goes. Again, just threading it all the way by hand first. Like I said, if you want these pedals to ever come off in the future, you need to grease those pedal threads. All right. Again, 15mm wrench will tighten these pedals up all the way. All that's left now is to pump up these nice, smooth treaded tires, which are great for indoor and outdoor use.